Okay, terrific. A lot to go through here. A little bit behind on these videos because I didn't take into account that Monday was a holiday, so the person who has the keys to the cabinet we keep the video recorder in wasn't around on Monday. Then on Tuesday I came in and made, I thought, a pretty good video, but it was long, and I would have had to register on YouTube to put it up, and I don't, if you think big data is getting my phone number, you got another thing coming. So I'm not going to register on YouTube. In any event, we'll get there. So I have the timer going. I'll probably have to do this video in two goes. I want you to notice that on the welcome page, I have a little section I put up to deal with citations. The thing about citations is I don't want them to get in the way of you doing your work. This isn't a class on research. In my mind, it isn't a class on citations. But we do need to have citations. So we're doing them in a kind of lightweight format. So what you get is, let me point this over here. I don't know if you can actually read that from where you are, but anyway, I'll just say on the front page you'll see it says the same thing. Literature reviews, if it's unambiguous, if you're within a subsection reviewing an article, you just use the page number. Again, if you're using a quote, the point is if the quote would have a period at the end of it, terminal period, I always say put the period inside the quotation marks, but in this case you move it outside because the sentence doesn't end there. The sentence ends after the citation. So you close the quote without punctuation unless it's a question mark or an exclamation point, and then you put in parentheses the cite, and then you put the period in. Always put a space between the P period and the number of the page. Then if you've got a situation where it can't be told from context who provided the information, say you're in the analysis section, the introduction section, or the synthesis section, you have a piece of information there but you don't have the author's name linked to it, then you include the author's name in the citation. Lastly, also note that for single pages you use the P with the period. If you have more than one page, you double it up. And also if you have a cite to a court opinion, as I have here at the bottom, you footnote it and you put in the citation, the official reporter citation down at the bottom as a footnote. Do the same thing for laws. You do the same thing for regulations. All that stuff you can just look up on the interwebs, get the proper citation and put that in. The next thing I want to go over quickly is when you're reading these notes I'm giving you, pay attention to the following. If I give you a note that's in brackets in one of these bubbles, the brackets mean that it's commentary. It's not something I need you to put in writing. Stuff that I need you to, words or language I need you to insert in the article, I don't put brackets around, square brackets. Also, pay attention because you get these little they pop up. They're little cursors, they're called, blue cursors. There's comments attached to those. You usually take a period in, pull a comma out, something like that most often, or sometimes just insert a word. But pay attention to those little blue carrots because they have meaning too. Common mistake I'm seeing a lot of people making, drive me crazy, is not italicizing the names of journals. I think on the second round most people caught on to that. Journal names always go in italics. To give you a little bit more space, I think what I might do is take out the keywords this round and have you put the year up as a parenthetical after the title, so then there'd be more space to write, because another common problem that we're seeing, we being me, I'm seeing, we as a group are seeing, are people not writing long enough in the main summary. So we want to give you the space to write in there, because the main summary is basically what's going to become your in the literature review, right? In the compartmentalized literature review, that is your subsection. That's a lot of what you're going to be writing about. If you only give yourself 2 lines here, yeah, you got your summary done quickly, but you're not making any progress on the main paper. And the whole idea of this class, as I've said, is like Lego building blocks. You're just building it up. But if you have nothing to build from, then you're back to square one looking at a pretty much blank page, which is what I want to avoid. I want to go through what you're writing now, edit it, and then have you turn it into the literature review on the main paper. Looking at my notes here because time's flying by now that I'm under the gun. You also have to pay attention to the following. You have to be planning ahead in this class. If you look at the schedule, Everything's spaced out. You know, there's a couple days here and there to write, but for things like doing the literature review that's going to be due, or doing the analysis and the synthesis that are going to be due shortly, those are big writings, and you know, it's multiple pages. You have to be doing it ahead of time, so you don't leave it till the day before. You start the week before and just work on a little each day. You're still going to have to do like a one-page introduction, but if you just do the introduction, then sit around and wait for the next thing to hit, it's going to be a lot of work, because the next thing is going to be the literature review, and then you've got the do I have the other? I have a schedule up here. Let me see what's coming up. So you want to be basically planning ahead. After assignment 4, which will be due on June 1st, which is like tomorrow almost, then you have to write the introduction for June 4th. Then for June 8th, you have to write the literature review. So you have a little bit of time in there, but rather than wait until after June 4th to start the literature review, which is lengthy compared to other assignments in here, you want to start working on that like as soon as you finish handing in the summary number 3. That'll be followed by your resume, which you probably already have on your computer anyway. Give me a little break in time here between the 8th and the 12th to actually look at these papers and get them back to you. Then you've got the analysis and the synthesis on the 12th. That's a lengthy assignment. You're going to need all those days to do that. You have ostensibly 7 or 8 days in there. I'm sorry, 4 or 5 days in there to do that. So that's work. The op-ed is not a great deal of work, but the main project is due on the 21st. That'll be in response to the edits I give you. You'll have to crank that out back again to me, responding to the edits. And then we have a political speech that's due in, and I'm trying to give you your papers a couple of looks here, so you have a nice polished end product you can work with and use as a writing sample. In any event, the main point is you don't want to ever be sitting around in this class. You want to be trying to write something every day. So plan ahead. I went over cites and footnotes, I went over brackets, I went over cursors. So all that considered, maybe, let me look at my time budget. About 1 minute left. So I'm going to end it here. I'm going to just go right into the next video. I'm going to actually talk about some of the papers that we got. A few people have given me permission to use their papers here, and not enough of you yet. I find that distracting. I really do need that permission. It makes the class much better, the course much better, if I can use people's work to explain to them and to others mistakes that are being made and how to correct them. Think of it as leaving your body to science, but without the messy, unpleasant dying part. Because I will continue to use, anonymized of course, things you've written in the future to demonstrate issues that need to be fixed, or things that have been done well. It cuts both ways there. Okay, I got 50 seconds left, so I'm going to drop it here, and I'll pick up in the next video, part 2 of today's video series, going into what we need to do on these papers moving forward.